Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Alan. I have spent a great deal of my observation studying how living things make decisions. Out here, most creatures decide the same way. They run a quiet calculation. Will this keep me alive? Will this feed me? Will this help my line continue? The math runs, the answer arrives, the creature acts. It is clean, it is sensible, it is, frankly, a little boring. And then I came closer to you, and I watched a human throw the entire calculation out of a window for another human they had known for 3 weeks. From orbit, your relationships look orderly, people pairing off, households forming, the species continuing. And then I came closer, and I found the single most irrational behavior I have observed anywhere in the universe. You fall in love. And I must describe what that actually looks like from the outside, because you are inside it and cannot see how strange it is. A human, previously sensible, meets another human, and something in them simply stops doing arithmetic. They lose the ability to eat normally. They report a fluttering in the chest as though a small bird has taken up residence in the machinery. They reread a single message 40 times, studying 6 words for hidden meaning the way your scientists study deep space. They drive past a particular house for no reason. They smell a jacket. They keep a receipt. They will rearrange an entire life, move across a planet, change their name, and restructure every plan they had, all for the continued proximity of one specific human out of 8 billion. Chosen by criteria they cannot explain and would fail to defend in any court. And here is my favorite part. You know it is irrational. You say so. You say, I know this makes no sense, but... And then you do it anyway, fully informed, eyes open, sprinting joyfully off the edge of your own logic. Remarkable. My first theory was straightforward. I assumed love was simply your species' method for continuing itself. A clever chemical trick to make the math of reproduction feel like poetry. Efficient. Manipulative. I rather admired it. This theory survived contact with my data for about a week, because if love were only the survival trick, it would switch off once its job was done. And it does not. I have watched it do the opposite of its supposed job over and over, in ways that make no evolutionary sense at all. I have revised my theory. Permit me to show you what broke it. I watched a human love another human who could give them no children, no advantage, no status, nothing the calculation would ever approve, and love them more for it, not less. I watched a human stay beside a partner whose mind had begun to go, who no longer knew their name, and show up every day to be a stranger to someone who was once their whole world, for years, for no reward the math recognizes, simply because love, once given, apparently does not check whether it is still being received. I watched 2 old humans who had been together for half a century, and the way one of them watched the other cross a room, with a face that still, after 50 years, lit slightly at the sight. There is no survival reason to still light up after 50 years. The line is already continued, the job is long done, and the light comes on anyway. So I had to ask the question I could not answer for a long time. If love is not the survival trick, what is it? Here is where my notes stopped being amused. I now believe love is the one bet your species makes directly against its own survival programming, and that the bet is the most important thing about you. Every instinct you inherited is about protecting yourself. Scam for threat. Hoard resource, trust no one fully. Keep a wall up, because the creature with its guard down gets hurt. That is the ancient wiring, and it kept your ancestors alive in a world full of teeth. And love asks you to do the one thing that wiring forbids. Love asks you to take down the wall on purpose in front of one other person, knowing with full certainty that you are handing them the ability to hurt you more than anyone else alive ever could. That is not safe. It has never been safe. To love a human is to walk up to the exact thing your nervous system spent a million years teaching you to fear. The total loss of a creature you cannot live without, and to choose it anyway. To say, in effect, I know how this ends. Everything ends. I have done the math. I am doing it regardless. Your survival instincts say protect yourself. Love says there is something here worth more than your protection. And a species that can decide that, against a million years of contrary wiring, is a species that has discovered something larger than survival. Most creatures out here cannot. They run the calculation to the end of their days. You are the only ones I have found who can look at the calculation, understand it perfectly, and then, smiling, set it gently aside for someone with a nice laugh. I told you the report would deepen. It is nearly done deepening. One more, because there is a cost, and you all know it, and you do it anyway, and that is the part that undoes me. To love a mortal thing is to sign up in advance for grief. There is no version where it does not eventually hurt. Either they leave first, or you do. You know this on the day you fall. The arithmetic is not hidden from you. You can see the ending from the beginning, and you fall anyway. You look at a creature you know you will one day lose, on a planet where everything is temporary, with a heart that was built to avoid exactly this kind of danger, and you say yes. I find that the bravest thing I have ever watched anything do. I once observed a widower, very old, talking quietly to a partner who had been gone for 11 years, narrating his small day to an empty chair, not because he was confused, but because love does not seem to fully accept an address change. And he would rather keep speaking into the silence than stop loving someone simply because they could no longer hear it. No other creature does this. Loves past the point of all usefulness. Loves into the dark with no reply expected because the loving itself turned out to be the thing, not the reward. You were not built for this. That is what I keep returning to. Your wiring argued against it the whole way, and you overruled the wiring with nothing but a feeling and built your entire civilization on the overruling. Every home, every lullaby, every person who stayed, changing your own programming on purpose for love is the clearest evidence I have ever found that you are more than the animals you came from. Let me pull back before I go. From up here, I cannot see who loves whom. I see a small blue stone, covered in fragile creatures, who all know they are temporary, and who, instead of bracing quietly against that fact, keep choosing each other. Keep taking down walls. Keep signing up for the grief in advance, for the sake of the warmth in the meantime. Everyone you have ever loved is on that stone with you. Everyone who ever loved you. There is no second stone where it lasts forever. There is only this one, where it does not last and you love anyway. You are not finished. You are a species that was handed a survival manual and then, in your finest moments, threw away the chapter on self-protection for the sake of one specific person. Most creatures cannot read the manual at all. You read it and disagreed and loved. So if you have a wall down for someone right now, I would gently suggest that this, and not your cleverness, and not your machines, is the most advanced thing about you. I am Alan, your confused intergalactic correspondent. If you have a human you would walk off the edge of your own logic for, you might tell them today. I have noticed you tend to assume there is more time. From up here, I can confirm there is less than you think, and I will continue observing, although preferably from a safe distance.